Hey YouTubers, welcome back to another Utah adventure ride. This week we start out with some nice views of the Great Salt Lake off to our right here as we jump on Interstate 80 west for about 40 miles of fast, boring tarmac out to Delle, Utah. It's Saturday, November 1st, and it's another beautiful day in northern Utah. So after 30 odd minutes of mind-numbing blacktop, here we are pulling off the interstate and pulling into the sprawling metropolis known as Delle, Utah. We've got four this week, including Drew and Kelly on their KTM 950s, and Dave on his 790, and me, Darren, on my CFMoto 450 MT. And lo and behold, as we pull into the gas station, there's another 450 MT on the back of this Sprinter van. Delle shows up on the map as a town, but it's pretty much just this Sinclair gas station and convenience store. But it's a popular staging area for the Cedar Mountain OHV area. The fun started as we quickly made our way onto this single track that parallels the main road and skirts the eastern side of the Cedar Mountains, heading south. I decided to leave this bit a bit longer because there was so much great riding to cover, but plan on breaking it up into chapters so you can skip through if you don't want to watch the full 20 minutes. As you can see, this is a pretty fun section of single track that alternates between fast flowy sections and more technical rocky wash crossings. We spread out pretty good here so that we're not eating each other's dust. Dave, you okay? After several miles of this, unfortunately Kelly flipped up a rock that somehow disabled the clutch switch on his KTM. With Drew and Dave's help, after about 30 minutes, we finally got it diagnosed, bypassed, and were able to get going again. At this point, I started the voice record feature on our Cardo comm systems, so the next several minutes is our banter back and forth as we transition from this single track to a really fun double track. I'm recording this on the Carter now, so whatever you guys say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Oh, maybe that's where I heard. Because I heard something suddenly sounded like something said recording started.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Yeah, I heard it. I think I took the rocky road on that side. That was the passing lane to the left. Yeah, this is about the level of Singletrack that I'm up for.
Yeah, agreed. So far, anyway.
At least on this bike. I'll have to come up here sometime in the DR and see what it does. Whoa, that was a sharp one. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You'll go flying up and get a big whoop, and it's like, whoa.
Beautiful day.
Oh, this is awesome. That big loose rock back there is what you got to watch out for. That's what'll pull you on your head. You hit one of those and all of a sudden your front end is 90 degrees to you.
You okay, Dave?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm here, just taking it easy.
Watch these little dippy dudes. One of them was really sharp. I don't know where it was though.
I hit one back there and I blew through everything hard and fast.
I forgot
Like
to go
I said,
back.
I'm so soft right now that all this feels great. I don't feel the rocks hardly at all.
No, it's good.
I forgot to turn my off-road mode back on after we stopped there. I was getting cut out.
How come I got a radio station? Hey, Cardinal, music off.
You'd like this, Kelly.
Oh, this is awesome. I think so. No, I'm right here.
I'm only a couple hundred yards behind.
All right. good spot to stop. Have a drink. I'm going to pull up behind you so if anybody else is coming along. Oh, there won't be anybody out here. Ah, that was a blast. I told you you were going to like it. I knew it was right up your alley.
So at this point we're back on the main road for a while, as you can see, and that's the legendary Drew Purdy leading, Kelly behind him, and then Dave just in front of me here. I hope you enjoyed that intercom audio. I just got the Cardo about a month ago, and I tell you, it's a real game changer for these scoop rides. We followed this main road now for several miles heading south and pretty much taking it easy compared to that demanding first hour or so. I've actually done most of these roads out here on my gravel bicycle, and there's a big gravel race every year out here called the Wild Horse. The road eventually curves right heading up to Rye Dog Pass, but we make a left onto a more technical double track heading south to White Rock. This section is the most technical on our route today and on par with some of the rougher stuff we tend to ride. As you'll see, it winds along these foothills here with constant steep, rocky, up and down sections. And as I'm always saying, the camera does not do a good job of portraying just how difficult it is. And though challenging, it's also super fun, and the views and scenery are just amazing.
Yeah, it sounded like you said you tipped over, but apparently not.
So here we are at White Rocks, an impressive series of sandstone monoliths protruding from the desert floor. We stopped and took a nice break, sitting on some rocks to have what passed for our lunch, since at this point we were probably 40 or 50 miles from anything that could be called civilization. Unfortunately, I didn't get much footage of the rocks themselves, but I do have a couple stills I'll throw in at the end. From here we were back on bigger gravel roads, including this dead straight section, and eventually onto pavement near Dugway Proving Ground. Over Johnson's Pass, a fun little twisty section I used to do on my sport bike, and then through the Tooele Valley and back home to Salt Lake. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one, though with winter setting in, that might be a while. Cheers.